Board games, it's what we're going to play. Board games to finish off the day. Board games, it's what we're going to play. Board games to finish off the day. Yay!
Yes.
And
lovely.
it is Thursday. That is the day. I mean, sometimes it's confusing, isn't it? And it is approximately 8 p.m, which means it is our Thursday prize play along. And Xate, hello! It's so exciting to see you. And
now.
Tonight we are playing 2 games. We are playing MICRO-MUCKELL and GIFTABELL, which I'm going to totally not type in right this instant because I'm very prepared, who has prepared everything ahead of time. Now, before we start, I would like to ask everyone about their recent highlights, living life and enjoying the sights, recent highlights. So a recent highlight for me was that I did a bit of work in the garden and also chatting to Xate in the garden. But yeah, just also I asked Richard Denning from Virtually Expo if they'd be up for coming on again. I know that like it's a bit short notice and there were only 2 dates that I could offer them, but they were like, okay. And so I was super excited, super short notice, but Sunday we're going to have Richard Denning on for a final time before UK Games Expo, and we might even do something afterwards to kind of debrief how it all went. And what are your recent highlights? Starting with my fantastic friend, the musically talented Jason.
I was going to say, fantastic friend, which one? I'm actually in the middle of my recent highlights. I decided on a whim that today I would treat my husband and my brother to local Chinese. So I had some roast duck with egg fried rice with chicken satay, which for someone who doesn't like peanuts, I like chicken satay. I don't know why. And to finish it off, Ben & Jerry's ice cream. We are not sponsored, by the way. I just really enjoy cookie dough ice cream.
You sometimes
Although
really unhealthy things. I'm just going to say.
I am super unhealthy, and I honestly don't care. It's the one thing keeping me sane through my PhD. So the fact that I'm not A, underweight as I have been in the past, and B, my blood pressure isn't dropping so low that I can barely get out of bed, I don't mind being a little bit overweight. It's when it gets, there's a certain point limit for me, but I'm around where I'm happy. Anymore, and yeah, absolutely, I would cut back. But I have cut back on meat.
Down below,
except for today,
there is the charming chum, and this is Categorickell-y, one of my favorite designers, Tom COLDRON. What's one of your recent highlights?
Hello. Ooh, I'm feeling virtuous because this computer right here, horrible trailing wires for the last. We've been meaning to get around to tidy it, and this evening we've tidied them up. They're all like neatly in a little holder. So yes, a little job, but it did take 6 years to get around to. So feeling good. Little things.
You've got to enjoy the little things when you can.
6 years.
Absolutely.
And
I'm considering maybe doing washing up as well.
Over here, we've got the special guest.
Oh, goodness.
Because you're the super special, sexy... I'm trying to think of another synonym for friend. I'm struggling.
No, I'm clueless.
Sorry. But it is Emily from Brain-crack Games. And hello, Dina. Lovely to see you. And Emily, before we get properly started, what is one of your recent highlights?
It probably my baby giggled for the first time a couple of days ago, and that was amazing. Yeah, that was definitely a highlight.
And for those who don't know, Emily is one half of Brain-crack Games, along with their partner Lewis Shaw, and they have made such games as Farsight and Downsize and Ragusa, to pick 3 by vaguely spinning along. That one I actually might have had some inputs into the creation of, very small amounts. I
can't remember. If you're in the rule book, then yes, but I don't know. Lewis does more of the development stuff.
I'm not in the rule book, but for Abiolot Piano was playing it with me before it was.
Oh, then 100%. Yeah, you're totally responsible for its success, Baz.
Oh, shucks.
I really like Ragusa. Played it.
Oh, and it's Elaine.
Nice.
Hello, Elaine. Lovely to see you. And it's also Alex. And we've got shout outs to Calix showing. I have been thinking about getting a 5x5 and shimming that along, but if I do get to 5x5, that will basically mean that I permanently have to have my seat like really squeezed in, but it will give me more shelving. So
that's very important.
And currently, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, I have about 100 games just on the floor, which isn't good.
No, that's a sin. That's a crime.
I'm so they are at least in a big box. They are in.
They're not just like strewn on the carpet. That would be.
No,
that would make me sad.
The box is like too big to show.
To go over to the games on the floor over there.
Camera pan.
Are these your own games, or are these games you own?
No, they're not. They're not Stuff by Bez games. I mean, those are totally separate. So, I mean, if it's Stuff by Bez games, then yeah, I've got stuff in the attic, and I don't need to have more than like access to a few of each copies. And yeah, even if you don't have Calix, you are still a gamer. You're still allowed. We still love you. All shelves are. We don't discriminate here.
All shelves are created equal.
Well, I don't know. I've seen some pretty dodgy shelves.
What is the word of the day? Because on a Thursday evening playtest, we always have a competition time. Oh my gosh. And I just realized that I did not grab Ponderdome, because that's the dodgy game that I'm now trying to give away. So Ponderdome, just for those who... You 3 should decide what's the game of the day whilst I run off and grab Ponderdome, okay?
What's the word of the day, do you mean?
Yeah, what's the word of the day? Because sometimes in the past we've asked people for a lovely thing, a Besmungus thing, a
tremendous.
No, I've had tremendous.
Yes. So think about
tremendous. I'm trying to think.
And I grab.
What about Splendiferous?
Splendiferous, pretty good. I like Ponder.
Let's go with Splendiferous.
Was that Emily?
Ponder. I've been thinking about that a lot today.
What have you been pondering?
Yay! I'm back.
Everything.
Pondering. I like pondering. So we've got either pondering or splendiferous.
I like splendiferous. What is
this? A word?
It should be.
I think it's one of those colloquial words.
Yeah, it's Latin for bearing splendour.
I mean, we can make up words on this stream. And so now we move to competition time. Competition time. This is a song for competition time. What is a splendiferous thing? Explain why it's a splendiferous. Use the word splendiferous to automatically win, enter the competition. And I need to change that bit thing. And the things that you could win are actually either Ponderdome, which is, I don't know if anyone's familiar with Why Did the Chicken. This is a game that asks a lot of you. We did not enjoy it because it's something that, it's us. It says, hey, people, think of a great pun for this topic. And if you can think of puns for that topic, then great.
God.
You'll have a lovely time. But if you're not quite creative enough, if you're not feeling energetic enough to think of a pun, you will have a sad time. And you'll just be like, yeah, I can't think of a pun. But other than that,
Sure.
in theory, if you could think of a pun, if you were in a right-swing group of comedians, this would be a perfect game. The other thing that I'm offering people is a copy of Yogi, which I'm going to grab from all the way over there, and it is the French version. But this is ideal if your child, for example, is wanting to learn French. And
Or yourself.
the third thing
Or is
that you
French.
can grab is... Oh, I really should be better organised, shouldn't I? Some cat stickers. And so you will get a pack of, how many is it, Jason? Is it 16, something like that? Or is it 14?
Yeah. I feel like 16 might be the right. It's been a while since we've had the number, so.
Actually, I'm fairly sure it's 16 different cat stickers. You've got the cat cheer, you've got the cat's ass trophy, you've got the musician, and you can enjoy all those things. And
Does CLA not
Musician's
like
cool.
puns? Is that why she's called Next Pun?
Yeah.
How can you not like puns?
Personally-
Puns are...
I think they should be punishable.
yeah,
God.
and hi Alan, it's lovely to see you. And yeah, I do.
Yes.
I mean, it's all about how much energy are you willing to invest into a game. But anyway, let's start off with our first game of the evening. Without further, I'll cry. Dino's got an entry. The game of filling cubes with smaller cubes is splendiferous. Is that splendiferous just because you find it soothing? And Aquasula says, thank you for your understanding. I like it. Now, let's go
What are the
to...
differences between a pun and a play on words?
Aren't they synonyms?
No, that's a very sweet pastry.
I'm just gonna go.
Okay, we are going to start playing MICRO-MUCKELL, MICRO-MUCKELL. It's a game that you might know so well, or maybe you don't know it at all. Either way, it's totally fine, and I will explain the rules to you right now, which are admittedly scrolling at the bottom. We are going to go with 1/3 of the deck, i.e. 16 cards. You're going to, from each card, choose one of the letters. And then each subsequent letter will either be placed on the same line to the right, extending the word, or you can use it on a new line, starting a new word. And you're trying to use all 16 cards to make 4 words, growing the words from left to right. Now, the trick is that at the end, you have to double your 2 longest words. Well, you get to double the score for your 2 longest words. So you would, if you manage to use all 16 letters, then you would get 16 points. But if all 16 letters were used in 2 lines, hypothetically, which is the most amazing thing that anyone could possibly do, which no one's managed to do yet, but they would get 32 points because both those 8-letter words, or however they were, would be doubled. Does that make sense?
Yes, although I feel like it might be more possible to play all 16 in a row if you're from, say, Wales, or I speak Gaelic, because, yeah. It's a lot of long words. Or German.
So I agree, Aquasulis.
German's good
A
for just
play on
making
words
one word.
is splendiferous. I mean, just the way that it sounds in your mouth, a play on words, it's just splendiferous.
And yes, to answer your question, Alan, yes, I am in a different room. I am actually my grandmother's bedroom because they're away for in a travel lodge, spending some time of just gorming out in front of doing nothing. They haven't even taken their laptops. That's how busy they've been. So I decided to nick their rooms. A, it's cooler. B, it's a comfier seat. C, it's a wired connection, whereas my conservatory is wireless, and as we've seen in the past, it drops out. So I get to be in all the time today. Failing a power cut.
Fingers crossed that doesn't happen.
Have my fingers crossed.
Okay, so I've laid out 16 cards. There is one thing that I didn't get into, which is that you do have 3 chances to use a star, i.e. a wild card, instead of a letter. This is going to be instead of choosing one of the 2 letters on the cards. And so using a star, I personally like to do it as late in the game as I can, just so I can use those stars to get me out of a tight spot, or even maybe use my 2 stars for the last 2 cards, and then it doesn't even matter what they are. Either way, the choice is yours. Do we have any rules questions? And apparently, Jason, your explanation was splendiferous.
Okay. Thought it was more flamboyant.
Okay, I'm going to show how I get on with the words along the way, and just to keep everyone grounded, I'm going to probably, well, I'll see how I start off. If, it turns out that I can make 2 8-letter words, then amazing. But I'm going to aim for like at least 27. That's what I'm aiming for.
Make sure you have your pen and paper ready.
I'm in 32.
So if everyone has a pen and paper ready, remember you're going to draw things on 4 lines. So if it makes it easier for you, you could draw 4 little marks to say that's where I'm going to be making my words from left to right. And we're going to start with O. It's O or H. How ordinary. Now moving on to the second card, we have, really weirdly, R or W. Now, I put H down as my first letter. In retrospect, I should have put down O, because then I could have put R beside it. But
Same.
Like me.
Because I put down the H,
W. I might regret
had
that.
to, start my second word. The third card is, well, I think, therefore, it's A or M.
I'm still on my first word. On my top line.
All right.
No, I think that might be trying to spell orange.
Yeah.
The fourth letter. Note this well. This card is not Bez. This card is not me. I am me. Just to make that clear. So I put the A and now the N beside the H, and I'm thinking, that could turn into handle or hanger or hand or any sorts of things. We'll see what happens. S or X. It's the only way. But zerosis, it's not pretty. It's not sexy. Zerosis.
Gonna have to start a third line.
I think I am as well. I'm not too keen on this, but I'm definitely not getting the perfect score. Okay, this is the 5th card. Oh no, wait, 6th. Oh, this is the 6th card.
6. Yeah.
O or D?
Ah.
Oh, I put the D to make hand reflexively, but now I'm already regretting it. I'm thinking maybe I should have put the O beside the R. You know, use that vowel where I could have, but it's the nature of flipping right.
It looks like you've been
going crazy.
disallowed.
I'm going crazy and using a wild card.
Ooh, wild.
Wild card. I know, gasps for the audience. Wow.
Insert bad imitation of the kid in Wild Thornberries.
This is the next card. It is I or L.
Okay. Right over.
I'm looking. I or L. If everyone's gotten something down for this one, we'll move on. And it is A or G.
Oh, come on.
No.
That's how I'm getting on. I'm thinking of handing. And
Oh.
I'm glad you're having a good time, Alan.
I'm going up.
I hope wonder if you're feeling confident. I mean,
That's what I've gone to.
Tom's doing pretty well by the looks of it. Sig, that could be signature.
I don't know.
Sign.
I'm being psyched.
It's true. See what comes up.
How do we fare with two phrased words?
If it's
So for example, like Higgs boson is the name of a particle.
check in the dictionary, check in Collins or something.
It's hyphenated, you can't have it. So.
It isn't hyphenated, it's two separate.
I don't like those letters. 3, 4, 6, and 8.
No, I don't know.
I mean,
Halfway through.
I don't know if that would be a proper noun or... I mean,
I don't.
basically check in the dictionary. If it's there, then it's all good. And I'm happy for people to use it online, check like a word every turn. You've got a bit of time. And Alan Alton, so R or D, and we're moving on.
I'm giving up on the
R or D.
score.
Oh, Tom's not getting a perfect score either.
So Higgs
Giving
in
up.
the dictionary, it's not hyphenated, it's a noun. It's not a pronoun, or it's not a proper noun.
It's 2 words.
Cool.
But it is 2 words, like faux pas.
Huh. I feel like we need an on-the-spot ruling. Let's be generous. You can go for it. Yeah.
I mean, the chances are I'm not going to get the right letters for it, but I was just thinking of that. It could be one of my potential words. Interesting. Haven't had this issue before. N or H.
Have you not?
I'm going to go for a wild card.
Oof. And we've got 6 cards left. S
Thank
or...
you.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm glad I did that.
That gives me handing. I'm pretty chuffed with that word.
6 cards left.
Okay. So we're coming into the home stretch. Is everyone ready?
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
S or H?
I'm taking another wild card.
Yeah, me too.
I'm just double checking.
I don't want to take a
SH
wild card.
is a word. Oh no. SH is not in the dictionary, but
Is it SHH? Is that why?
no. Not in Collins anyway.
Is not in the dictionary?
Aquasilis says missed the last one. I don't know which one that was.
The one before SH was SG.
Let us know if that's all right for you.
It was greatly splendiferous of you to show the card again.
Well, I am a splendiferous kind of person.
We often say that. Yeah.
Did he call me a... We've got 4 cards, and I have not used any of my wild cards yet, which means that I can make 3 out of these 4 wilds. I'm quite excited by that.
I'm really not.
Yeah, I wish I could.
I wish I'd saved my wild card.
I or B?
I think
Is it 3 wilds per game?
Yes.
Yeah.
How many have you
Yeah.
used?
1.
Okay,
I've
so...
used 2, and I used it for one of those letters, and I wish I hadn't.
Well, Beth, do not terribly sympathise with you. It's just the way it happens sometimes.
At the cards.
Okay, there's 3 cards left, and basically this is what I've got on my paper, and it doesn't even matter what those final 3 are, because I'm just using wilds for all of them. Ooh.
You see?
Ooh, let's
I mean,
see.
I know I'm going to lose straight away.
Yeah.
Oof. And
I'm going to lose.
so the home stretch, 3 cards. E or M?
I'm using another wild.
Emily? Might.
Yeah. Or might not.
Mighty Emily.
Oh, thank you. I'll take that.
Meticulous Emily.
E or M?
Mischievous Emily.
It started off very nice and complimentary.
We're going downhill slowly.
Mischievous is a wonderful word, I have to say.
Malevolent Emily.
Oh, malevolent.
Oh.
Machiavellian Emily.
N or Z? Oh wow, Alan only just started their 3rd word. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Two letters left.
N or Z? Now, with zeal, write one of these letters, or if you have one left, use one of your 3 wild cards instead of choosing a letter. That is an option if you have a wild card left. And is everyone ready? This was the penultimate card. Is everyone ready for the final card? It's the final card now.
Cool. Oh, no, I should have put that there. That was silly.
S or C?
That's a word.
So, Cauldron, by which I mean Tom Cauldron. How have you done?
I'm going to have to put it there.
6, 1, 2, 3.
How do we count again?
So, the way you start is by counting how many letters in your words. So I had a 7 letter, a 3 letter, and a 6 letter. But your longest 2, you get to double the value of. So my 7 becomes 14 and my 6 becomes 12. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
no.
looking at Emily's. Yep, so... Oh no, you also add the 4 for... Is word a word?
Yeah, they're like druids. They're really
Ooh.
cool. I did Google it to check.
What was the word?
Warg.
Oh, Warg.
So I got
So,
28.
for example, I've got 14 plus 3 plus 12, handing, rad, and shines for 29. Tom, oranges,
Oranges. Yes.
and dims
I was hoping for a orangutan, but it
for
didn't happen.
28.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and I've got a disappointing 16 because I forfeit my first word because that is actually a proper noun on its own. If you add the boson, it's allowed. Higgs
Oh,
is
man.
the name of the person. That's really weird. That's better.
That
Higgs is the name of
was-
the person, so I have to forfeit it.
Seems like you might have been a bit overambitious there.
I think I was.
But we
Because
probably
the-
need
the
to have
lo-
a
the-
ruling for stuff like you said, like faux pas and Higgs boson, if those are allowed. I mean, I don't know. Other people could maybe say what they think. But if you're in the comments, how did you manage to get on? How many points did you get? What words did you manage to make? Let us know. I'm particularly curious as to what Alan Oughton managed to do. But while we're waiting for them... Oh, Alan Oughton says, it all went pear-shaped at the end. Highs, Ransom, and Mike went to
Ransom's-
25.
Ransom's pretty cool.
Hmm. But Alan Oughton's had those heady highs
Mike-
of managed
I think
to
it's
get
counted up
30.
wrong.
Is
That's not
Mike
a 12, that's a
allowed?
14.
'Cause
MIC.
Mike is actually an abbreviation. Microphone is the actual word. It is only colloquially known as mics.
I mean, colloquialisms are allowed as long as they're in the dictionary.
Okay.
Ransom's is 7 letters long, so that's actually 27 he's got there.
Alex has bent, highs, and ransoms. Very similar to Alan Oughton. Now look at it.
It's
And
an
Dina
informal
managed
noun.
to be productive and get laundry done. Well done.
That interesting, are we?
So, yep. Alan says, thanks, Tom. You are better at maths than Alan Oughton. Let it forever be known.
Got a degree in it.
At least on this one occasion. Now, that is the end of MICRO-MUCKELL. What did you think of that, Emily? It's your first time
I
playing.
really liked it. Yeah, I played a couple of games from the Wibble deck, but that was my first time with that one. I really enjoyed it. When I saw your video, I was a bit excited.
Oh, cool. Because I was able to draw upside down and like
I was impressed that you were writing upside down while demonstrating.
Impressive, yeah.
Aw. And now I will quickly tell people once more about competition time. Competition time. This is the brief interlude for competition time. What's a Splendiferous thing? Explain why it's Splendiferous. Use the word Splendiferous in your comment to automatically enter. You can win either Punderdrome or some cat stickers or a copy of French Yogi. Those are the 3 possible things that you can win. And now I want to move on to our mid-game section, which is Emily is going to be subjected to the questionably quick questions. Are you ready?
I think so.
Did you have breakfast?
I did have breakfast.
When did you wake up?
Like 7, I think. Yeah, quite early.
Iced coffee or hot tea?
Iced coffee.
What's a good thing to eat or drink whilst playing games?
I'm so boring. At the moment, I'm really into peanut butter and rice cakes.
That is totally fair. Now, who's the last person that you spoke to in person? I mean, here there's 2 possibilities.
Other than Lewis?
Well,
or Rowan. I think it was probably Lewis.
Okay. Books
Lewis
or
spoke
podcasts?
back anyway. Sorry, I didn't hear.
Books or podcasts?
Podcast.
And what's the last one you listened to?
I listened to the latest My Brother and Me.
What's the last physical game that you played?
Last game I played was Ruthless.
Ruthless,
the deck builder.
Oh, by
Alley Cat.
Alley Cat, spot by
Rupert. No, even tagged him on Instagram. Roland.
Yeah, Roland's
Roland,
Revenge.
yeah.
That's what they used to be on Twitter, but they took themselves
Now I
off.
recognise you.
Oh, what, when I had blue hair?
So, what's your favourite colour to play?
Probably yellow.
Cards or cubes?
Cards.
Wooden meeple or plastic figurine?
Wooden meeple.
Semi-transparent card, standee, or plastic figurine?
Plastic figurine.
Arts or rules?
Art.
Tell us 3 games you love or are enjoying right now.
Oh my goodness. I love Suburbia. I really loved Ruthless. Really enjoyed Ruthless. And I like Splendor. They're all games that I win when I play. That says a lot about me.
And that is the end of your questionably quick question.
I survived.
Yay. And for some reason, Dina is quite surprised by that. But I know so many designers are always choosing yellow.
I love yellow. It's my favourite
Yellow
colour.
is the best colour.
And yeah, I sometimes mix around a questionably quick question just to throw people off their toes a little bit. Although Norbert tomorrow, just to let people know, they wanted as many questions ahead of time, and I was like, okay, because I don't want to make it unpleasant for guests. So
Looks like my husband was following in the footsteps of John Barrowman's husband and doesn't remember what webcams do.
I missed that.
So you all got a
I didn't even
sneak
see.
peek of my husband. He was just on camera as I just caught it.
fair enough.
Again.
Thankfully, we're not prudish. He was covered, thankfully. The important bits were covered, which still makes this PG-13.
It's all good.
So not full on Barrowman's husband.
Now,
Play this back.
yeah, we've got someone who's very excited and wants to do a rewind. Oh, speaking of which, Alan Alton, I do want to say that I did go to the post office to post your previous competition entries. So Alan previously asked for, and I was quite proud of my typography, and I was going to post it on Instagram, and then I was like, yeah, I can't share on any of this because this is Alan Alton's address. But yeah, basically Alan wanted a tiny postcard which was like this size, but I unfortunately wrote the address on one side, expecting to put the stamp on the other side, if you know what I mean. But they said that that wasn't allowed. You have to put the stamp and the address on the same side technically. Otherwise, it's technically not allowed. And so they said, okay, what we'll do is we'll give you a couple of stamps and you can put it down and write the address around it if you really want to do this silly thing. So we will see if it comes to you. And yeah, as long as more people send you prizes. No, I'm not expecting anyone else to send you prizes. Let's move on to Giftable. Giftable. It's another game that we know quite well, unless you're Emily.
I feel like I'm getting picked on now.
Perfect name. No, Elmily. I think we should call it Elmily today.
I mean, it's
Just
fine.
rebrand me.
Basically, you know that I've been doing Thursday things since like March the 17th or something. And we started playing Giftable. Actually, it was only the second time the first time I played it was around our kitchen table. The second time I played it was on live stream. And I've played it probably, I don't know how many times. Jason, how many do you think?
I don't know. I'll have to check the streams.
Like there is a spreadsheet we could actually count, but I'm going to guess about 10.
Yeah, I'd say that's about right. And we don't play it every week,
Sounds
but we
about
certainly
right,
play
yeah.
it often.
Yeah, we've played it a fair few times, and so Tom and Jason and Sates and people know it, but if you don't know it, if you don't know the game, don't worry, I am going to explain it to you. It's super simple. Basically, you've got a judge, and the judge picks the name of a person or a thing, and this thing is going to be called Jackie. Now, what is Jackie? Now, I could say that Jackie is a quail, because maybe Jackie's not human. Or maybe Jackie is a Quidditch player. Or maybe Jackie is an interrogator. Or maybe Jackie's an... Yeah, let's say Jackie's an interrogator. We've not... No, that's... Is that too morbid?
I think so.
Depends.
Okay, Jackie is an impressionist. Jackie... Okay, so now... Jackie the Impressionist, we've had our character, and now everyone else needs to think of a present for Jackie the Impressionist. And one of the words needs to have a T or a C, one of the words needs to have an I or C. And so you need to think of a 2-word answer. Once you're ready, just put up your hand. And...
Shiny.
Are we talking?
Pardon?
Are we talking impressionist
That's
Roy
better.
Bremner or Renoir?
Oh, no, I mean someone who does impressions of other people.
I was
Right,
thinking
okay.
painters.
Yeah, I was thinking painters.
Okay, so I'm going to say that yes, Alex is correct. Jackie does have a high IQ, and Jackie is able to memorize all the mannerisms and all the vocal timbre and the fluctuations and everything to do with... So you can't say top hat, you could say top cap or something like that. Remember, one word has to come from here, one word has to come from here, if that makes sense. So what the first letter of one of the words from here, the first letter of one of the words from here, and it's TC and IC. So Jackie has loved pretending to be people. See, Tom's got an answer. Jackie loves to just walk along the streets and then suddenly break into song as if they were... who's that person from The Sound of Music?
I should know
Oh.
this.
Maria.
Yes.
Yeah. How to solve a problem like Maria?
Maria
yeah.
Von Trapp.
No, not Von
What, he
Trapp
just
at all.
starts-
Well, I know maybe later
Oh,
in the end.
yeah.
She get married, doesn't she?
Later, after
Yeah.
the film. Yeah.
So
Very-
Jackie loves walking
Right.
down the street, and Jackie loves to confuse people by, messing about and trying to be a different person each day and trying to sometimes maintain those impressions for a full day. And we've got a few answers coming in. So let's start with Tom.
You say that Jackie likes putting pranks on people slightly. I think what would really help with that, and she'd be able to make the best use of her voice changing abilities if she had an invisibility. Because she could just sort of sneak up behind people and pretend to be them, their voice, saying something silly like, give me all your money, this is a hold-up. I didn't say that. Or, that's not very funny, actually. I could see it's a very distressing situation. But she should probably think of me to do an invisibility clip.
So an invisibility costume. And we've got Alex, who said a chameleon costume. Feel free to also let us know why that would be a good thing. I can think maybe Jackie just wants to wander around the streets wearing this chameleon costume. Or maybe a carnival costume. Maybe Jackie just wants to go to the carnival but doesn't have a costume. Maybe Jackie wants a talking coat that also does impressions, as in the coat is talking. Jason, what's your answer?
And this is hyphenated, a top-of-the-range car.
Top of the range car. Okay.
So that so that she can get around a bit more and travel, take her show further afield. I mean, sure, you can get her something that's related to her, directly related to her career. Like you could probably get me. Oh, I don't know, what do I want for Christmas? A new instrument or a bit of software or something. But no, she needs something to get around. You know, she wants to show off that she's got the money before she makes the money. It's all about the looks.
I see how you're going there. Okay, top of the range card to give people a false sense of being incredibly successful and rich.
And therefore, self-fulfilling prophecy, you know, there she'll become.
Emily, what's your present for Jackie?
I decided that she needed a Chihuahua toy so she could impersonate Paris Hilton.
I like it. Because maybe Jackie really wants to impersonate Paris Hilton, but just wants that extra prop.
She needs that nudge to really sell it, you know?
Valkyrie Dina's changed their... I'm just going to call you Dina, if that's cool. So Dina has changed her answer to a climbing cloak for a quick getaway. And Alex explains that with Jackie's ability to impersonate people and armed with a chameleon costume, she could blend into the background at the zoo and make people believe that animals can speak. I mean, to be fair, you could also do that with Tom's invisibility cloak. I mean, the invisibility... So I'm kind of just thinking, I really like Alex's offering. Like, the invisibility cloak just sounds like a better version of it, though.
But what if the chameleon cloak came with the tongue?
Wait, does the tongue go into your tongue so you get an extra long tongue?
Maybe it's some kind of vor thing. Mildly horrifying, but amusing.
What?
You could disguise yourself and catch insects from several meters away. It's great.
What more could a girl ask for?
I'm going to go with Tom, who did the... So I really liked the top of the range car. I liked the toy chihuahua. I liked all the talking coat and the talking clock. All of these were good, but it had to be the invisibility cloak. So now, Tom is the judge.
Leo.
Ooh, Leo. And what is Leo?
A tiger.
Yeah, the tiger. No, Leo is a guitarist.
Sorry, could you say that again?
Guitarist.
Guitarist. Ah, Leo the guitarist. And please, while we're pondering, again, using one letter from one of these cards and one letter from one of these cards, we have to come up with two words in exactly the same way. And Tom will tell us a bit about Leo.
Okay, Leo's often to be found busking, guitar case open in front of him. Still has hopes to become, rock star, but for the moment he's having fun just playing Wonderwall on the high street. Adds his own little touches, but he makes a decent living. He would like to be. Okay. Emily, did you have one, or have you given up on it?
Oh no, I did.
You did have one?
Yeah, igniting frets. So the frets of it on his guitar just spontaneously catch fire. Wonderwall wasn't doing enough to really earn him that $1 on the street, so he decided to really...
Right.
Do you know how close your hands get to the frets?
Oh, you're muted.
It's part of the fun. It's not entertaining if it's not dangerous.
That would...
Jimi Hendrix, 1967, trying to slash his guitar and it just doesn't go. I mean, that would be really annoying. So igniting frets is...
Aqua, you've stolen my one. You've stolen half of my one.
Okay, so we'll go with Aqua if you want to read this out, Tom.
And so is
A
Alan.
nice ukulele. Doesn't want to go. Ukulele's better than guitar, is it? Okay.
So, yeah, an alternative to the guitar, a little ukulele.
Because too many guitar
Well, let's have a fancy ukulele.
don't do good.
Yeah, okay. And Alan Allison
Yeah.
went with a fretting ukulele. I think that was unfortunately pipped. I also went with frets. I went with an indigo fretboard because I just think that you want something that looks fancy. I know it's not quite as fancy as an igniting fretboard, but at least this one
A bit more
doesn't.
practical.
It doesn't risk your bodily injury. I mean, it's just like, wow, this is made with real indigo.
Real indigo, wow.
Mm.
So, yeah, I
Okay.
had
Jason.
fretboards as well as ukuleles. So I'm going for the ultimate noteworthy ingenious fretboard, where not only is it tonal, it's microtonal too, and it's changeable. You flip a switch on the back and it changes the scales for you, or the tuning, should I say, not the scales, because scales is different.
That is pretty cool.
And I've used all 4 letters. I don't get bonus points, but it just felt noteworthy, you know.
Oh, and Dina said
I think I'm going to need. I'm going to need this one explaining. I think. What is an ultrasound neola?
an ultrasound neola. By performing, Leo can perform ultrasounds on the go.
Is neola a word?
I don't know
It's
what
a
neola.
neola.
It's a string instrument. from
Neola
Wales,
is a
yeah.
string instrument from Wales, apparently.
I always thought that was Miola. I heard it pronounced really poorly when I first heard the name, so that's why I was like, Neola the word? Yes.
I quite like Aquazula as an
Neola.
alternative answer.
Mm.
An understanding fiance to support the life choices. Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, good partner is always a good thing.
Okay, I think you're guessing, isn't it? Oh, now I like the fancy ukulele. The indigo fretboard sounds very nice, but I think I'm going to go for the crazy igniting fretboard, so he can fulfill his dreams of being a rock god.
Just something out of Mad Max. That's
Possibly.
what I was imagining.
Absolutely. Next year, maybe some fireproof gloves. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, so Leo is
But
going
yeah,
to play with
that's
the
gonna be a spectacular
igniting
book.
fretboard.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Emily,
Mm.
what's the name of our next recipient?
Ophelia.
Ophelia.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice name.
And who or what is Ophelia?
A yo-yoer.
Oh, wow. Ophelia is a yo-yoer. Now tell us
That
about
takes me
Ophelia.
back.
Are they good? Are
That
they
takes me
bad?
back. I remember some assemblies.
So she is Ophelia, as in the Shakespeare character who is floating down the river. But while she is floating down the river, she is also juggling. I mean, what more do you want? Yeah, she's just, making her way downstream and just, juggling her way down. What have you got,
Make your
Tom?
way downstream, juggling. I can't be that.
I think what would be really practical for Ophelia, because I'm sure this is the bane of many yo-yo's lives, is tangled string. So I think I'd get her a string untangler.
Oh,
A string what?
'Cause if you got all your
Untangler.
yo-yo, a string untangler. If you've got all your yo-yos in a drawer and you open it up and you go, oh, God, I don't know, which yo-yo is which? Spend half
does
an
that
hour
work for
untangling them
headphones
all
too?
before you have to do a yo-yo.
Does it work for headphones?
Yes,
and
it's multi-you. Yeah,
So she's listening to some tunes at the same time. She can get both jobs done.
Yeah. Absolutely. Practical.
Just got to rack my brain for some literature reference here.
So, Aqua Solis says, an understated submarine. Ophelia needs something to pick her up after a midstream yo-yo session.
That's good. Or
Understated,
buoyant
of course.
outfit. That would be beneficial. With some storage pockets.
Pockets always.
I'm okay. Oh, Jason's got one.
It rather than a gift, long-term gift, although it may turn into a long-term meet, I will introduce her to the. And I don't think it's spelt this way. Hang on. You know when you hear a word in your head, you're like, I think it's spelled that way. Yes, it is. Great, fantastic. I will introduce her to the ostentatious bard.
Oh. So like a blind date as a gift.
No, it's a blind date. It could turn out to be that. It could turn out just to be a meeting for a business meeting, you know?
Jason, you're
I'll go
sort of a bard. You're wearing a shirt saying flamboyant. Would this ostentatious bard be you?
No.
Okay.
There's nothing ostentatious about me. What are you talking about?
Okay, so Dina says baby octopus to help Ophelia's skills grow. More hands, more yo-yos to juggle.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say I'm going to gift Ophelia magically because this is all about fantastical gifts for fictional people. This is pretty fantastical, but I'm going to give Ophelia omnipotent balancing powers. So basically, what I'm going to imbue Ophelia with is the gift to be able to balance literally anything. So Ophelia would be able to stack like 30 games, not just, games like that we call big games, but like 30 copies of Gloomhaven on their head and walk around because they've just got omnipotent balancing powers. They could always, balance on top of a ball. They could balance those, sticks that you do, like when you've got those really long sticks, and I can't even do it with a wee pen, but you know what I mean. And this is going to further their circus skills career.
That would be an incredible gift. She'd be unstoppable. I really like the baby octopus. And I really like the omnipotent balancing skills. I think the combination of both, that would be the ideal gift. I think Bez, I think you've got it there.
Not an ostentatious bard, then.
The ostentatious bard is also very, very good.
I could have gone with Shakespeare, but I didn't. She could pick.
Okay. So, I'm going to go with Ruri. Ruri is a hamburglar.
Oh, I think I know the reference.
Ruri, and I will talk about Ruri whilst you study the cards for inspiration and for your restrictions. Well, Ruri, let me tell you, they just go around from restaurants, nipping into people's houses, and they started it off as a prank just to show that they could get into people's houses. They're really just trying to show off what bad security you've got. So they don't want to steal anything too valuable because then that feels really bad. So what they do is they go into your house and then they open your fridge or freezer and they take out one of your hamburgers. And instead of the hamburger they put a little calling card, and they put one of Rory's story cubes in its place. Because they're like, hey, my name's Rory as well. This, by the way, I should say that this is not actually Rory O'Connor. It's not Rory O'Connor who goes around burgling everybody's hamburgers. But this is just someone who shares the name with Rory O'Connor. And they're like, yeah, I want to go off. And
have you ever seen the Hamburglar and Rory O'Connor in the same room?
I have not. But, I mean, I'm not saying this is the Hamburglar. I'm just saying that this is Rory, a Hamburglar. And they are going round and just basically saying, hey, and then after they've burgled your ham, they will come back a few days later and say, so, the problems with your security system are, and then they will list exactly how they managed to break into your house, and then they will give you a quote to try and sell you better home security. So the only reason that they're doing this is basically to sell better home security systems. So an elaborate ploy. Any ideas?
Oh dear.
Oh my goodness, this one's hard.
Yeah, key is a difficult word. I mean, can think of all sorts of things. So, oh wow, we've got
Everlasting ham.
Does one of the story cubes have burgers on them? Sure, it could. Oh wait, that's a question to
Rory.
Alan Alton says a hamburgling kit. Or maybe a kitchen observation kit. I could see the utility of a kitchen observation kit to just make sure that they can nip in once you've actually bought hamburgers. Because if you hadn't actually bought hamburgers and then they broke in, they'd be like, well, I can leave one of my trading cards, but one of the little cubes, but it's not really the same. Dina suggests a house evacuation kit for quick escapes. Aquasulus suggests an everlasting ham, because Rory is actually quite a benevolent burger, and because he returns the stolen hams, he never gets any of his own. So Rory's actually quite sad. Rory just wanted some ham all along. But Aquasulus will give Rory that everlasting ham. Now, Jason, what have you got?
Well, you say that he's selling something back to them. So he's giving them a service in return for his slightly sneaky service. So in order to up his business, I'm going to give him omnipotent knowing.
Omnipotent knowing, so basically omniscience.
He's omniscient, yeah. Omnipotent. I had to find a way to use that K. I couldn't figure out. Omnipotent knowing. He would know where everything is at every single floor of that security system, so he can propose one better.
Okay. Who else had one? Tom?
I think to expand his hamburgling business. So in order to give him the capability to do that, I had to give him a hugely successful Kickstarter. I don't know if you can really give that as a gift. If I can, I'm going to give it to Rory.
I mean, wouldn't that give it away to who is that there's someone around there nicking hamburgers and reselling? Making them up their security anyway.
And Emily, do you have an idea?
Oh, I do. It's not very good, but I'm completely stuck. An opulent knife that he could use to eat his stolen, delicious hamburgers.
I mean,
He said he wasn't going to use them.
well, that's what Aquasulus said. You know, this was just this wasn't part of the official canon. This was, Aquasulus. This was Alex's headcanon. And by the way, let me know if you prefer Alex or Aquasulus. Yeah, I
just realised that light on the mirror into the stream looks like a Christmas angel.
Yeah, a little bit.
Ooh.
It's like a meeple
Not very
wearing a
seasonal.
dress.
Yeah, people wearing dress, all that.
Dina's chimed in at the last moment with elven helpers, which I do really like. Just for covering more ground.
Yeah.
Cool. I will go with Alex in the future. Yeah, I liked Dina's elven helpers. I like that. I liked Alan Outson's kitchen observation toolkit. Yeah. Sorry, I'm laughing at it says Alex is fine. So fine. Anyway,
All right.
I do like this everlasting calm, and yeah, I like dual knife. I like what was Tom's again?
A hugely successful Kickstarter.
Okay. And you know what? I'm going to give it to Dina. I really liked Dina's elven helpers because I think that's at the end of the day. Who would not want some elven helpers to just help you get more stuff done in the day? And so
it'll spread their work out. Usually they only get work at Christmas. Now they've got it spread over the whole year.
Yeah, because those elves
are struggling in the gig economy.
The rest of the year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now,
I mean, to be fair, Santa's got to be extra safe this year, so I'm hoping that he knows what he's doing. I mean, he managed to survive during the Spanish flu.
And congratulations,
Maybe
Dina, you won. So, you're going to tell us what is the name of the next person, or would you prefer me to do it? You can either judge or I can pick the things on your behalf, just because of the tiny bits of lag. So if you're happy to come up with the name of a person starting with R or W, feel free to do so. It could be Robert, or it could be RuPaul. It could be Robin. And now apparently your light looks like a head with a top hat, Jason.
I guess.
Okay, so Walter is this person's name, and Walter is a could he be an acrobatist or a masseuse?
Or an amateur musician. Magician.
Martian. A mime.
A miscellaneous individual.
An amateur. That's everything. They're just an amateur.
Marsupial.
Also could be a marsupial. Or is Walter an Amstrad?
Magician.
Okay. Tall guy, handsome fellow, magician. Feel free to share more about Walter or not, but we now have to think of one word starting with S or X and one word starting with N or B, which when combined make a 2-word gift for Walter.
Can we use words starting EX for the X?
No.
Or would that be cheating?
I would say no.
No? Okay. Okay, fine.
Sorry, I didn't quite hear. Sorry, because I've got.
Because, yeah. I don't know.
Don't know what it is,
Don't worry.
Tom. I'm really sorry. I've got.
And it's just because no one wants to listen to Tom, that's all.
No,
Oh, that's me.
Jason, can you say what Tom said?
Tom said, can we use words that sound with an X? So exciting or excellent instead of just words that begin with X.
No, there's plenty of words starting with X.
I've only written down silent.
Such a- That's,
It's the only word I can...
I mean,
there's at least one word starting with it. Okay.
I will help you all by bringing up.
Hang on. I've got a thesaurus.
There you
Oh,
go.
I've got it.
Xylem.
I will. Really? There's no left word begin with.
Walter loves hats and sparkly things. Purple is their favourite colour. Okay.
I've got one.
Okay, so we've all got one. Let's go round in clockwise order. Mine is a bit weird. It's a bunch of baby xenopuses. So a xenopus is a type of little frog. And basically, instead of pulling rabbits out of hats, sometimes you want, something a bit different. And so maybe you want to pull out a clawed frog and say, hey, presto, here's a clawed frog. And it was, whoa, what's going on here? And it's like, hey, what's behind your ear? It's a clawed frog. Hey, what's that bursting out of my chest? It's a clawed frog. Yeah.
So I'm going to go for a xenomorphic buddy. Basically, an assistant who can help out with all the body morphing tricks and trickery. Will make it very easy to slip and slide out of those contraptions and maybe even become translucent. I don't know what kind of I don't, maybe, yeah, think like Odo from Deep Space Nine. But so probably not be able to go translucent, but probably be able to become a translucent object.
Nice.
Yeah, Odo basically. Can't beat with Odo.
Alex would give Walter a black suit to make them look great.
Yes, could
Yeah.
Axis could become a doppelganger. Like could suddenly appear at the end of the audience.
Alan Alton would give sparkly bunnies to make Walter's show even more sparkly. Emily.
I would give him bountiful sleeves. I was so proud of that one. So he could just endless handkerchiefs or endless clawed frogs, whatever took his fancy at the time. But yeah, bountiful sleeves.
And Tom.
Give Walter a joke present of entry into a spelling bee because he's good at spelling.
And so it's up.
It doesn't matter. You're not missing anything. Spelling bee.
So it's up to Dina to decide which of these answers they preferred. And yeah, let me know.
Watching the comments intently.
So, to recap, for the sake of Dina, We had a black suit from Alex, sparkly bunnies from Alan Outson, baby xenopuses from me, just, a bunch of little clawed frogs, to give your show a bit of something different. Jason said
Xenomorphic buddy.
Mm,
Buddy. Not body, buddy.
I really like that. And we had bountiful sleeves from Emily and Tom. Spelling bee. Yes.
I think Joseph.
The magic show could use more frogs, apparently.
Favoritism.
This entire game is ridiculous. The whole thing is just about favoritism, let's be honest.
Oh, very silly.
And with that, that's the 5th round. And it feels like an appropriate time to wrap up. So we had... I'm stopping just because I won. Just because I got my second point.
Yeah.
Although, honestly, if anyone
game.
had gotten their second point, I would have stopped it. But, if I won, even better. But we did have a bunch of people who also scored. And congratulations to everyone. And thank you for everyone to come along. And Emily's suggestion with the sleeves and the suggestion from Alan Alton with sparkly bunnies was really great too. So, I was considering having another game of MICRO-MUCKELL at the end. I don't know how people were thinking, just mixing it up.
Oh, when you said you were wrapping it up, I thought we were wrapping it up. I was getting prepared to do all outro stuff.
No, I meant wrapping up the game.
I'll put it back down then.
Is that
put my feet up on the bed.
game well done? Too much Board Game Arena. And yeah, I'm really excited to be speaking to one of the Board Game Arena game programmers tomorrow who programmed their own game. I'm excited about that. And
Interesting.
yeah, it's something that I would never choose to do, but I'm curious to see, how it was for them. They are clearly someone who likes programming, I guess, whereas I very much hate it, and so I would not choose to do it. But I'm curious, how.
Yeah, I saw you were asking for advice on how to do Tabletop Simulator earlier on, but I've not really looked at that. Yeah.
I've started.
Well, sort of thing, I guess.
I find it actually quite interesting. I think the physics are fairly realistic considering it's on the computer. It's not quite as though you can feel things.
Oh, I think you're thinking of Tabletop Simulator. I'm talking about Board Game Arena.
Yeah.
Right. I haven't had a go at Board Game Arena, so I can't comment on that one.
Okay, so let me just look at the competition time. What entries do we have for competition time? What's a splendiferous thing? Explain why it's splendiferous, and make sure to use the word splendiferous. And you can either win Punderdome, which is a game where you need to come up with puns, or Yogi, wherein you can learn French. What's the French word for body parts? And I did actually learn quite a bit of French. I know les genoux, le man, l'épaule. I mean, how many people can say l'épaule?
L'épaule.
Yeah, I know you can say it, but I mean, how many people know that that's the word for shoulder? Or you can win a bunch of cat stickers. So we've got Dina, who said that's splendiferous. We've got Alex, who said that a play on words is splendiferous. We've got Alan, who said that your explanation was splendiferous. Hi, Sharon. It's lovely to see you, and we are just
Hey.
doing the competition time. You can feel free to enter the competition if you want, and we are going to play one last game of MICRO-MUCKELL. I think people are up for that, and I will explain the rules again if you would like. Unless you want to explain it, Emily, now that you've already played it.
You put me on the spot, and now I can't remember anything.
I mean, it does all go along to the bottom, so you have a quick
Yeah,
sheet.
so you have 16 cards, and every round we draw a card with 2 letters, and you have to choose between which one to add to one of the 4 words that you can be building on your bit of paper. And at the end of the game, the 2 longest words score double points.
And you get wild cards.
Oh yes, and you get 3 wild cards that you can use instead of a letter on one of the cards per round.
And don't try to be too clever. There's a tip.
So, to start off, what I would suggest is you draw 4 little lines. If you've got a bit of paper, draw 4 little lines, and that's all you need. So you're going to make words going from left to right. So the first letter that you pick on the first card is going to be up here. Then the second letter will either be to its right or starting your second word. And you carry on. As Emily said, you're hoping to use all the letters in words, and your longest 2 get doubled. So for example, last time I had handing, which is a 7 letter for 14 points, rad, which is a 3 letter for 3 points, and shines, which is a 6 letter for 12 points, and a total score of 29. Hopefully that makes sense.
Thanks.
We are starting off with A or L.
Alan, Al, Alan.
Alan. Oh no, it's Steve.
Steve.
I mean, maybe Alan's an antelope or a lemur. Anyway, which letter do you think is best to start your word with? You need to
I went
choose.
with L. Whether that
went
is
with-
the right decision or not is
I
another
went
question
with A.
entirely. I'm a rebel, what can I say?
There's no such thing as right and wrong. Only choices and consequences.
The next one is N or Z. And so that means that because my first letter was A, I can put the N to the side of it. Whereas if your first letter was L, you'll have to probably start your second word.
Yep. I think we're split down the middle of this stream.
Yeah. A's and the
Oh,
L's.
S
No.
or D.
Oh, no.
No.
Jason, what have we done?
Yeah, when you get those vowels, you need to use those vowels. I'm thinking like this. Oh,
We've gone different.
hang. Oh, yeah, I see. That could have been good, like hangles, anger. I was thinking answer, and then but
Angiogram.
that's a bit restrictive
I
potentially.
mean, there are multiple answers.
That is true. And I think you were right.
Vowel. I'm going to choose the vowel. Where to put the vowel is it's another question. But I'm choosing the vowel.
So this is our 4th card. So you're going to pick one of these 2. Put it to the right.
Excuse me.
Okay. And I'm... Oh. We can discuss rule changes another time, but that is an interesting idea, Alan. I or C? Well, for my last card, I went with the M, and I'm happy that I do get to do the I now.
Oh.
Oh, ack. It's going S or B. Miss.
There's something I could say to you, Bez.
Yeah. I'm a sexy
I don't know what
Bez.
to do with that.
I'm a special Bez. Story-eyed Bez. Bezzy sisters. And just so people know, there are 10. We've got 6 letters and there are 10 cards left.
I'm using my first wild card.
Next one
So am
is
I.
S
Instead of taking that F or
or
B.
X. And I've
Oh, that's
got
no good.
Miss, which could be missile or, yeah, pretty much just missile or miss. S or X, it's the only way.
I'm starting. Right. That's my third line.
R or W. Wow. Regard. What righteous letters.
On my fourth line.
We've got 8 cards left. E or W. Ew. Oh, I'm happy about that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so potentially I could actually get 32 points if things come out in the perfect way.
Are
I've
you
already given
regretting
up on that.
making the same choices as me, Emily?
I'm not doing horrendously.
Last nib sweat. Yep, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Although,
I've got.
Oh no, you haven't missed anything.
Yeah. Doing better than I.
And 7 cards to go. T
Nope.
or D. Hmm.
I'm using another wild card.
I've used my first wild card, although I'm regretting where I put it already. Oh, my regrets are too delayed.
No, my luck, the wild card that I've just used for the letter I want to use it for will probably come up next card.
T or D.
Happened to me last time.
Everyone's ordered that, and it's E or K.
It did not.
Oof. I'm quite excited about that. Could turn that into answered. There's still the potential if everything comes up perfectly for me. Ever knowing? We will see. 5 cards left. N or F.
Mm.
No, that's not how you spell the word.
Use my first wild card.
I'm using another wild card.
You're very sparing with wild
I'm
cards.
keeping the dream alive. Keeping it alive. N or F. Oh no! I just used it for an I and an I came up. That is so annoying. Oh man.
I see the luck has switched.
Hmm.
You can have it.
Okay, I'm going to keep the dream alive. I mean, it's a bad... If I was just playing for the maximum points, this is a terrible move. I'm using my third wild card. So technically, I could get the maximum points, but it's just incredibly unlikely now. Because I've got no outs, if that makes sense. Use my last wild card. I or Y. There's only 3 cards remaining, so we are on the final stretch.
The final.
R or L?
I need to search a word.
I'm checking my spelling.
That's not a word.
R or
That's
L?
That's a proper noun, which means I can't use it. Gah!
Oh, Alan Outson has already also used all 3 wild cards, so everybody really ready? Let's go. For the penultimate card.
I'm going to use
E or L? Oh my gosh.
Ooh. Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
I've used all 3 wild cards, by the way.
Missile.
Ooh.
Right.
So if it's an S,
If it's an S,
Mm.
then I will get the perfect score. This is a card.
what are the chances though?
I'm not going to look. The final card. I or
Oh.
So close. Oh man. Oh.
I mean, it doesn't help me.
Oh, I've only.
You think
Oh, that's.
wild card there?
Oh dear.
So you and I both have to choose where to put this letter. And at least it's a nice thing. So Tom has angled for 6 letters and doubling it makes 12. Acre, good word, 4 letters. Senile, 6 plus 6. So that is a total of 28 points. That's pretty decent.
I'm going to have to put that letter
And
somewhere.
one
Does that mean I forfeit?
Wild
Does that
card
mean
left.
I forfeit the whole
That counts
word?
for anything.
Yeah, I think
Um,
I'm gonna have to forfeit a word as well.
Why? No, you can
Cross out.
skip.
But this is what we're doing with.
Yeah, I'm doing.
Lasty, nib, sweetly. Oh, nice. So you can scribble off bits on the
Get
right
rid of the
end.
I.
So
Yeah,
if you were
so-
trying to
Yeah.
make sweep ing and you never got the final G, you could do sweep.
Yes.
So you can never mess up something totally. It's quite
Mm.
forgiving a game in that way.
Yeah.
Alan Alton's got lasso, nicety, and nil. So that makes 10 plus 12 plus 3 is 25. It's a decent score.
Yeah.
8.
I've got to do math. Math, so British.
So answered is 8 letters for 16 points. Missile is 7 letters for 14 points. And I is 1 letter for a total of 31 points.
Very good.
Oh,
And Aquasulis is a word. I believe it's a length of. It's a unit of length. Ancient China.
I've got 24. I've got lax, niche, give, and ren. REN is actually another word for kidney.
I learned something new. I got last, nib, and sweetly for 25.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a kidney.
And Dina got Angar, Swede, and filling. So I guess that would be. Is that meant a typo? Did you mean anger? But is anger a word? I'm going to.
Yeah. It's the act of being angry. Having anger.
No,
Angar with an E.
Angar the schemer.
Angar is want or
Angar
distress.
the schemer.
Huh. This is a word that I've never heard of before. I'm going to look it up just to see.
Which language is it in? Is it in English?
I'm assuming it's Finnish, because there's no results for Angar in the English dictionary on Collins.
Want, distress, affliction, austerity.
Angar the Screamer is a comic book character who was able to scream so loudly that it would cause hallucination with similarly powered screaming Mimi.
Sounds like a baby.
So, Yep.
Wow.
I'm going to use Google
Want,
Translate.
distress, affliction, austerity, and
One of the more
privation.
minor Marvel characters.
Interesting.
Is Austin Russian for hanger?
Huh.
Anger.
Anyway, so
Anger.
that
What did you
is
mispronounce that?
properly now at the end. We've played a few games, and
Yes.
thank you everyone for joining. I want to say this is the final competition time. This is the final competition time. What's the splendiferous thing? Explain why it's splendiferous. And you could win either a bunch of cat stickers, all with little puns on them, including the musician, which, Jason, when I see you in person, you will get a whole bunch of musicians.
Yay!
Or you can play this game, Yogi, which is actually bath-proof, because the cards are literally washable. And this was a selling point to Dina this morning, because
I
Dina
played
plays
it in the
games in the
pool.
bath with their 3-year-old.
Yeah, I've played in the pool with one of nieces. It was interesting. Slippy.
I can imagine.
Is it easier or
But it was
harder?
fun.
Yeah.
I think things would stick
Harder.
though. That would be.
The balancing was
Yeah.
not easy.
And
I
finally,
lost
you've got
8 out of 9
Thunderdome,
games.
which is apparently based on a renowned live game show, which I've never heard of. Have you heard of the live game show Thunderdome?
Is it American?
No. Clarkson, Potter, Crown Publishing, New York. Yeah, it's apparently it's got something to do with America. So
New York's most fantastic
the
competition.
competition. We've got Alex. I'm going to have
That's right,
an
Maria.
X for Alex because Sate did not enter tonight. I've got AL, if I can find it, for Alan. And we should have a D for Dina. Oh, there it was, literally the last card in the deck. So Alan, Alex, and Dina. So we are seeing who will win. Tell me when to stop shuffling. Emily, as a special guest, you can have the privilege.
Okay. Oh, I couldn't interrupt that though. Now.
Okay. Now, do you want this card?
Oh.
Or do you want that card? Or do you want the card over there?
I'll go for the one over there. Wait,
One over there.
that one, yeah.
And it is Alex. Congratulations, Alex. Let me know what you would like out of the 3 possibilities, and I will package that up and get that sent to you. You can whisper me your address or however you want. And yay! And it's lovely to see people congratulating other people.
Someone other than Alan won.
Now, whoops. Alex would like French yogi. Sure thing. As we wrap up, I would like to say, what are we looking forward to? Hopes and ambitions, it's over to you for this final section. Now, the hopes and ambitions and things we're looking forward to can be things for today or tonight, depending on your time zone, or tomorrow or next week or anything. I'm going to say that the one thing that I'm going to talk about is so lots of my life has become about the stream, and I'm genuinely looking forward to talking to Norbert tomorrow morning. But to try to not make it just about the stream, I'm going to say that I'm going to have an ambition of getting up early tomorrow. I've not done it for quite a while, but I'm going to get up early. I'm going to put on some trainers, and I'm going for a quick run, like for about half an hour, and then maybe even, doing a wee bit of exercise maybe in the living room. Doing all that and getting my shower on by 9 and still being in time. That is what I'm hoping. We've got early means like marginally before 8. Yeah, I know.
Very
What are you
jealous.
home from dropping off Michael there? He's arriving home.
Alex says their little boy wants to learn French, so it should be fun. That's awesome. I'm so happy that it's
Woo.
worked out perfectly for you. Oh,
Hi,
and
Kit.
Dina says that they're looking forward to being a guest on the stream again. This morning was great. Yeah, it was lovely having you. And yeah, absolutely, if you ever want to join us for one of these evening play-alongs, let me know. You can join us on camera, or you could join me for one of the two. I said 2 p.m. I've got to work out a time because I said to Jason, actually 2 p.m. is not a good time for me. But yeah, but we will work out something over the coming weeks when's a good time. And Alan is looking forward to Nice, a town in France. I guess.
Nice.
Yay, all the shows. So, Tom, what are you looking forward to?
Long-running D&D campaign. Been going for a few years, and we're just going to have a continuation of that online. It's Categorickell weekend. Try and get some D&D on.
Nice.
Yeah.
Get it on. Emily, what's her... Oh, it's Nice que Alex a utilisé tous les cartes de yogi. Oui, c'est bon. Emily, qu'est-ce que tu espères?
I think I'm most looking forward to the virtual expo, which is coming up near the end of this month, because I've been putting loads of work into what we're going to do for it, and I'm just hoping that people enjoy it.
And there's Liam, as always. Oh, that's from UK Games Expo.
That was the first time we ever exhibited.
Oh,
So that was like
beautiful.
3-4 years ago.
Well, it says right there,
Yeah.
2017.
Yeah, back in the day.
Oh. Did we talk about yous coming on at some points? I think it might not have been possible, but like would be. This art is gorgeous.
I know, it's so good. It's by Louis Durant. He's on Instagram. I can't remember his handle. Odd Currencies. That's his Instagram. Thank you, Lewis. Yeah, he's really great. I really like working with Louis. It's fab.
Wait, so how did you get a little message from Lewis? It's Lewis beside
Oh,
you?
he's sat across the table from me.
How did you
He's
hear?
waving, even though the the camera's not facing him.
Oh, is Rowan on Lewis's lap?
No, he's sleeping in his cot.
Oh,
Yeah, well, I would say we've got him well trained, but he's 6 months old. He's not well trained.
oh, that is so cute. And yeah, Alan's ambition is to write longer sentences in future. And Jason, without wanting to stop you from your playing, let us know if you wish what you are looking forward to.
Being able to do this without stopping the rhythm.
That's a good ambition to have, to be able to do more multitasking. And
Which is
I would
very
like
difficult to do. Very difficult.
if you want
Very
to
difficult.
find me, I am stuffmybeds.bigcartel.com, where you can buy my stuff. Twitter.com/stuffbeds, I post a lot. Instagram.com/stuffmybeds, I occasionally post pictures. Twitch.tv/stuffmybeds, Facebook.com/stuffmybeds, and Facebook things by beds and stuffbeds@gmail.com if you wish to email me. I messed that up today. But Tom, if people wish to find you, where can they go?
I'll be around here. I suppose the only thing I've got really is the YouTube channel.
What's about the YouTube channel? Nord's look.
Yeah.
N-O-R-D-L.
I don't really do Twitter or Facebook at the moment.
And then
yes, COLDRON backwards. You see what I did there?
Then you can click on the videos.
Those have been on there for years.
11 years ago. That's wow, old school.
I know. Yeah. But anyway, yes, I don't really do
videos
online
for a lot of the main games, and really like the one for portable and extendable because they don't get enough love. But if people wish to find you, Jason, where can they find you?
Well, unfortunately, my website has had a little bit of issues on the back end, and my techie can't figure out why it's not happening, because everything should be happening and it doesn't happening. So, if you go to my website, jasonhodgson.com, I assure you it is safe. It's just that the SSL confirmation certificate hasn't seemed to want to be updated for the last 2 months, which is really bizarre. Yeah, like that. So if you just go to advanced and click, I assure you it's safe. It's just that it hasn't got an official HTTPS, which is really weird, considering my other site, which is hosted on the same server, is working. I don't know. So the other site is Adventurers and Artists. So you won't see many updates on this one for a while, because I'm going to hold off updating things until we've sort of figured out what is going on. But you can find from my work some recordings, like Dimensional Shift, which is a piece.
And your other, oh sorry.
So yeah, Dimensional Shift is a piece with Rubik's Cube. You've got Dungeons and Dragons piece. There is one on there which I probably should put an expletive warning on it, because it's directly quoted from a Dungeons and Dragons campaign. If you know D&D, you know there's lots of expletives. So the other one is adventuresandartists.com, which is a live Dungeons and Dragons podcast series with a musical twist. In fact, we have some news on this front. In the coming couple of weeks, we may, all bearing timings and technology, be having a live stream with some of the team members. So yeah, this is Maz, our game master. So we've got some. So this is our Dungeons and Dragons professionally recorded with some film students for some experience, and then we add improvised music on top of that. So that's adventuresandartists.com. You'll also find us on Spotify, Twitter, Facebook, iTunes, or Apple Podcasts, or whatever it's called now. So you'll be able to listen to it on the go as well as on YouTube. But there won't be a new episode, though season 1 isn't finished. There won't be a new episode until after this situation, because our main editors, should I say, well, one of them in particular is actually high risk, so is unable to go in to use the software at the university.
Ooh.
So we've said, well, we're putting it off, and we may get to season 2 next year in recording it, because it was originally going to be recorded in May, and then the situation happened.
And
So there's still lots of stuff. There's original soundtracks. There's OSTs. There's some stuff to read up on. You can even you got the podcast episodes, and we may be streaming just the behind the scenes natter with some of our team from season 1. There's plenty going on still.
if people wish to find you, Emily, where would you like to be found?
So you can find Brain-crack at Brain-crack Games on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. I've recently now I'm on maternity leave, taken over like looking after the social media and everything, so we're a bit more present than we used to be. So I'm hoping I'm posting like cool stuff for people to look at. And if you want to find me, I'm at CEmilyClay on Twitter. And I can't remember my Instagram name. I only ever post pictures of my cat, so no one really wants to follow me on there anyway.
Excuse me, cats are very important.
He
part
is.
of the internet
He is
culture.
very important. I don't know where he is. He's wandered off somewhere. But yeah, I can't remember my Instagram.
That's fine.
I should know that. Emu Be Sure. That's me on Instagram.
So your pinned tweet currently is having a baby is like being in an escape room. Every time they cry, you've got to solve the puzzle of why and fix it. But in this escape room, all the keys were thrown away. There's bodily fluids everywhere. The game master screams, and you haven't slept properly for 6 months.
It's a pretty accurate summary.
Normal escape room /
Yeah.
D&D session.
I want to say, so looking back, did we do? We had a game of. Did I win both? Did I win all the games tonight?
I think you did.
Just catching up again.
Hey,
You may-
Jason was just saying recently that I need to work harder because I've been losing at my own games recently. So yeah, we did MICRO-MUCKELL where we played and I managed. Well, we all made some words. Then we played Giftable, and for me, like I feel like the best one was still for me the Bountiful Sleeves. I would have given it to Bountiful Sleeves, but I was very happy to be picked. I've got to admit. But then here I was so close to 32, 1 card away, so it can totally be done. I was wondering actually, maybe what if the game you got one of your lines tripled and one of your lines doubled? Would that make it a better game? Because now you want to have one really long one, rather than just being okay, there's 2 that you want to put everything in. Because then that's adding a tiny bit more to it. It's just a pondering that I had. And yeah, I hope that you had a lot of fun. Thank you everyone who was watching. Thank you Alex, Dina, Alan, Xate, everyone who said hello, and special thanks to Jason for providing music, and everyone provided friendship as well, of course, and Tom Cauldron,
Important.
and Emily. And yeah, would any of you like to say anything as we wrap up?
Well, just thanks for having me on. It was really fun.
It was nice.
Well, if you have enjoyed this, please do share it and spread the word, by which I basically mean share and spread the words. Like, I wouldn't really advise. I mean, I guess there might be some people watching this after the fact, but I feel like you'd get more from it at the same time. You can play along, and especially with Giftable, you can sort of be a bit more part of it. But I am streaming every morning at 10 a.m. Tomorrow, 10 a.m., I'm going to be chatting to Norbert, designer of Flaming Pyramids, who also programmed Flaming Pyramids on Board Game Arena. On Saturday, it's my special 100th episode, so I'm just having everyone on. Literally, like if you watch the stream, there will be a link to join me. And if I know you at all, I will just let you in. If I don't know you at all, you'll have to notify me in advance if you wish to join. Maybe you've been lurking, maybe you're thinking, oh, I want to join in. This is your opportunity. Send me a message in advance. So, like, everyone that have recognized your name, you're all good. Sunday, I'm having Richard Denning on to talk about Virtually Expo. And then Monday, Rory Muldoon to talk about Scora. We are also hoping to try a draw along tomorrow with myself, State, and person who makes edible dice. I'm really sorry, person who makes edible dice. I'm blinking on her name. It's late. And thank you.
No,
and
it's not
I will
late.
see you all tomorrow. And there is only one thing left to do. That one thing left to do is to say bye bye, bye bye. This is the goodbye song. Bye bye, bye bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye bye, bye bye. This is the end of the show. Bye bye, bye bye. Now it's time to go. Yes, it is Catherine tomorrow. I mean, yeah, thank you very much. Bye bye, bye bye. This is the goodbye song. Bye bye, bye bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye bye, bye bye. This is the end of the show. Bye bye, bye bye. And now it's time to go. Bye bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.